Joining me in studio once again, you've heard them on the air before. I have not heard them on the air before because I wasn't here. I don't know where the heck I was. But we have Abby and Joe from Advocate Technology Group, and the website advocatetechgroup.com. You can also go to our website hometownstation.com and find out more about them, including watching the videos and listening to the podcast from the previous times that they were on the air here. You guys are fairly new to Santa Clarita. Do I have that right, Abby?
That is correct. We just moved here about a couple months ago.
Moved here a couple months ago. You know what? We should bring Joe on the line too as well. I don't want to exclude him.
Let's do.
Joe, are you there?
Hey guys, yeah, I'm here. Thank you very much for having us.
I appreciate you doing it. So you've been in business for a couple years already, but new here to Santa Clarita, Joe. Do I have that right?
That's right. Well, Advocate Technology Group as a corporation was formed a couple of years ago, but I've been doing consulting for, I don't know, about 15 years or so.
And so you're doing specifically technology consulting, computing consulting. What kind of technology, what kind of stuff do you help people out with, Joe?
Well, yeah, there are a lot of tech companies that hold themselves out as salespeople, but we do pride ourselves on being a consulting firm. We've built a strong team of consultants and technicians that work on-site and remotely. And basically we just have a three-phase cycle of consulting, implementation, and support. So we'll look at where a company is at or a private individual is at in terms of their technology, how they're using computers to help them in their business or what have you, or even a home-based business, and just help them make informed decisions in terms of their investments. But and then implementation and support is pretty straightforward. We'll install and configure and document, and then we'll support either on a managed services proactive basis or on an as-needed on-call, on-site and remote basis. But what we really wanted to talk about today is security, if we can.
Yeah, we will. Everybody's got a computer now. And I would imagine that not everybody, in fact, probably most people either A, don't have their computer running as well as it should, and more importantly, B, do not have their computer protected in the way that they should. So you're talking about security. What are some of the things that you help people out? And I'm not sure where you want to start with it. Well, I mean, what are the ways, I guess, that a computer would be insecure? What should people be doing?
Well, there's just a variety of things, and that's what's important is to first ask, even if you're going to buy a computer or, a mobile device or full-blown, server solution for an enterprise-level company or a small business, the first thing we would ask is, what are you using it for? And the same thing with regard to security. What are you doing with your computer? Are you selling online, through a website? Are you purchasing things all of the time? Are you just, you have an accounting computer that someone uses to, maintain your QuickBooks and run your company that way? Depending on what is being used, how the computer is being used or how the network is being used, we'll have different recommendations. But for businesses, we recommend straight away a firewall, an actual firewall appliance that sits right behind the internet connection that blocks 99.99% of all threats, hacking attacks, malware, spyware, viruses, so that regardless of what software is running on each desktop or each server with regard to antivirus, it's got very little to do. Whether your favorite is Symantec or McAfee or APG or whatever, if you've got a proper firewall in place for your business, then you really just don't have those issues anymore. So that's one of the things that we look at in terms of security is if you're a business, do you have a firewall yet?
Yeah, get a firewall and get it set up. Now, is that a hardware firewall or a software firewall? Or I guess that question could be for either one of you. But what do you recommend? Do regular consumers, do they need like a hardware firewall? What do you recommend?
Well, that's a great question. With regard to Windows operating systems, the Mac OS, Linux, they all have built-in firewalls. But for businesses, we recommend a hardware firewall, an actual appliance that, as I said, sits right at the internet connection. And what you're doing in a business is you've got your internet connection and then a router and a switch, and everything's connected to that, either wirelessly or wired. But by having a firewall appliance sitting right at the internet connection, it filters out all of the threats. For home users, there are some additional things that we would do aside from just the operating system's built-in firewall in terms of security strategy. A lot of things are just best practices. What are you, what are you doing? How are you? If you're on Facebook, how are you on Facebook? Did you enable it so that it's, only using HTTPS for secured socket layer? So there's just a number of things that we do. I'm sure Abby can translate that into like regular human speak, but there's a lot of things that we do just to make sure that people are computing safely.
We're in studio right now with Abby and on the phone with Joe. They are the co-owners of the Advocate Technology Group here in Santa Clarita, talking about computer protection. So, Abby, a lot of people people don't even know this. There is a way to log securely into Facebook so that you have a, kind of a, I guess it's an encrypted connection versus just regular browsing out on the internet where anybody could possibly connect to it. And that's just by adding the S, right? Don't you just add the S, HTTPS:/? Is that, do I have that right? I think that's right.
Joe?
Is that right?
That is correct, but there's a way to actually set your account on security settings so that whenever you log into Facebook as you, it automatically redirects the browser to HTTPS. But
I didn't know
you're
that.
correct.
Yeah.
That's what the S means. That's right.
People should be doing that, and that's such an easy change to make, just when you update your bookmark, whatever, to do that. So let me ask you, either one of you, and maybe Abby and Joe, you can put your heads together on this one. People will often, see signs that their computer has already been infiltrated, or they've got something wrong with their computer. What are some of the things that people should be looking out for? Maybe their computer has either been affected or it's been used to spam other people. What are some of the telltale signs that you guys have noticed when somebody's computer's been compromised?
Usually I'll get an email from that person, advertising a specific male enhancement product.
that is usually one of the
by the way, Geraldine, grandmother of 7, you probably didn't send me that.
Probably not.
So we recommend that you change your password. But speaking of email, we have also recommendations in that regard. Most people use their email without encryption, so there's that.
Yeah, other things would be when screens are popping up multiple times and you didn't open more screens. Your computer's turning off for no reason, or other things like that. Basically, what we want to impart is that we're here for our clients. So no matter what it is, Joe does the technical speak and I do the breakdown. So I do the translation.
You translate Joe, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So no matter what it is, we can help you out. We can find a solution that's going to meet your budgetary needs. We have a residential program, we have a business program. So just pick up the phone, give us a call, and we'll definitely, work with you to find out whatever it is that you particularly need, and find a way to make it meet your budget.
Yeah, there's things that you can do kind of proactively, and we talked about that too, kind of it's avoid getting yourself in this situation in the first place. You mentioned best practices, Joe. You mentioned watching where you're clicking. I'm kind of the tech savvy one for my parents, who both, they have a computer, they use it, but when something pops up, they have no idea what happened, so I usually go over there and I help them out with it. But a lot of it is I'll ask what did you click on to get to this screen that popped up like this? And it was something that somebody sent them in a Facebook message, somebody else's account had been compromised, and then that can install things on a machine. So I got to imagine that a lot of the trouble that people can get into is just being aware and just being a little more conscious of what they're doing.
Right, and using their computer with default admin privileges. Most computers just come wide open, and what you really want to do is kind of lock yourself down or have us do it so that, you're prompted sufficiently, are you sure you want to install this? And then say no, and even if you said yes, it would say, okay, type an administrator password. So there's some things in that regard. Also, if if a company is sure that their computers are being compromised or abused by their staff, we'll often work with management to install again, firewalls, content filtering so that certain websites can't even be reached from that network. We're at a client right now where he just requested that, one of the laptops be locked down with an alternate user account for their child so that, he's 9 years old. He doesn't want him going to lots of inappropriate sites or even YouTube or certain hours of the day. Also, after a client's, company's computers have been compromised, what we can often do is go in and install the type of stealth monitoring system so that management can go back and review how their computers are being used. After all, it's their property.
Abby, did you install one of these on this computer here?
Yes, I did.
Come on.
We've been keeping track.
I knew, I knew it.
Come on.
No fun. But so you guys help out not just consumers, but also business level clients as well. So you guys really kind of help both.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a residential program and a business level program. And basically, our residential program offers exactly the same processes, exactly the same offerings that our business one does. It's just at almost half the price. So just to make it more affordable for home-based businesses and home users.
A lot of people don't want to have to deal with this. They just want, this sort of technology is something where people just expect it to work and they don't want to deal with it when it goes bad. So this is why you call Abby and you call Joe and they'll take care of it for you. The website is advocatetechgroup.com. You can also find them on Facebook and on Twitter. You can call them 360-9718. 360-9718. You can go to our website, Hometown Station. You guys are everywhere. Go to our website, hometownstation.com. You can read more about them and what they do. And get yourself protected, and don't get yourself into a situation where you have to fix something kind of after the fact.
You can also give us a call.
Yeah?
661-360-9718.
There it is, 360-9718. Joe, thank you for checking in. We appreciate you doing this, even though you couldn't be here. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a great pleasure. Thank you.
And Abby, thank you for coming to the studio. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
We'll talk to you guys again very soon. All right.
Sounds good.